The story of Joan of Arc vertical bar, France's warrior saint and martyr. Imagine a world of iron and fire where kings clashed and destinies were forged in blood. In this brutal age, a vision emerged, not from a royal court, but from the heart of a simple French village. Joan, a young girl, blossomed amidst this chaos, her beauty as striking as her spirit. Even in her youth, there was a certain allure, a captivating innocence that belied the fierce determination within. Picture her, bathed in the soft glow of a flickering candle, her delicate features illuminated, a hint of rosy blush gracing her cheeks. It was whispered that her eyes, like the clearest blue, held a depth that could both inspire devotion and ignite desire. At a time when women were often relegated to the shadows, Joan possessed a radiant presence that demanded attention. Then, the whispers began, of divine voices, of visions that spoke of a destiny far beyond her humble origins. Imagine the subtle curve of her neck, the graceful sway of her form as she moved with an almost ethereal grace, even as she spoke of battles and kings. It was this mesmerizing combination of fragile beauty and unwavering conviction that would soon captivate a nation. Some say, in moments of quiet contemplation, she would let her long, flowing hair cascade down her shoulders, a stark contrast to the rough-spun garments she wore. It was in these private moments, perhaps, that the full extent of her youthful allure was revealed, a glimpse of the woman beneath the warrior. This is the story of Joan of Arc, a girl whose beauty and spirit would defy the very fabric of her time, a story of faith, courage, and a destiny that would set a nation ablaze. Are you ready to witness the legend unfold? The early 1400s were a time of chaos in France. The 100 Years' War raged between France and England, tearing the kingdom apart. In the small village of Domremy, a girl named Joan was born in 1412 to a simple peasant family. Though illiterate and far removed from royal courts, Joan grew up in a deeply religious household. Her life would change forever at the age of 13, when she began to hear voices she believed were sent from heaven, voices she identified as Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, and Saint Margaret. Even as a young girl, her beauty was noticeable. Her posture and expression spoke of a rare confidence. The voices gave her a mission: to help the Dauphin, Charles VII, reclaim his throne and drive out the English. With absolute conviction and unwavering faith, Joan set out on her journey, defying all norms of the time. Despite her humble status, she gained an audience with Charles. She impressed him and his advisors with her knowledge and determination. Eventually, Joan was granted an army, a teenage girl in command of troops, an unprecedented phenomenon in medieval Europe. It was said that when she spoke, her voice held a certain power, that men would find themselves drawn to her words and her presence as if under a spell. In 1429, Joan led the French forces to lift the siege of Orleans, a turning point in the war. Her courage on the battlefield, dressed in shining armor and carrying her banner, inspired thousands. Her presence ignited morale and faith in a war-weary people. Victory followed victory, and soon, Charles VII was crowned King of France in Reims, a goal Joan believed was divinely ordained. Clad in armor, she moved with an almost androgynous grace, her feminine form only slightly obscured by the metal. It was a sight that both inspired and intrigued her troops. But Joan's mission was not yet complete. She continued to fight, but was eventually captured in 1430 by Burgundian forces, allies of the English. She was handed over to the English and taken to Rouen, where she faced a politically motivated ecclesiastical trial. Even in captivity, her beauty remained a topic of discussion, a strange contrast to her dire situation. Joan was accused of heresy, witchcraft, and cross-dressing, the latter because she wore male clothing as protection during her imprisonment. Despite her courage, faith, and eloquent defense, she was convicted by a biased court. In 1431, at just 19 years old, Joan of Arc was burned at the stake. Her last words were a cry to God. Even in her final moments, as the flames rose, some witnesses spoke of a serene beauty that radiated from her, a final haunting image. Decades later, Joan's trial was retried, and she was posthumously exonerated in 1456. her reputation grew over the centuries. In 1920, Joan of Arc was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church. Today, she is a symbol of faith, courage, and national pride in France, an enduring legend whose story continues to inspire the world. Her image, through the ages, has been captured by artists, often emphasizing her beauty, a testament to the enduring fascination she holds. Joan of Arc was more than a warrior. She was a vision of courage in a time of darkness, a spark of hope in a fractured nation. Her life may have ended in fire, but her spirit continues to burn in the hearts of generations. Remember her name, not just as a saint or a soldier, but as a symbol of unwavering faith and a captivating beauty that defied her time.